it's Angelique Vestil, and today I'm going to be talking about the truth about building a business in your 20s. I'm 22. Really, the first business I ever built was when I was 18. It was an e-commerce website selling jewelry, and then I tried a number of different things, consulting, doing sales. Throughout college, it was just kind of like dipping my toes in the water with a lot of different things, and then after graduating college, I just really wanted to jump into building my own business. So 3 days after graduation, moved to Asia and have been on this journey of building my own business, exploring my likes and dislikes, and figuring out pretty much who I want to become. And so I just wanted to be 100% transparent with you guys, because really that's what I want this channel to be about, is just me talking to you guys about this crazy journey, because honestly it has been crazy. I've been around Asia and like have been trying to figure out what I want in my life and what I want to achieve, and so I just wanted to talk about like the hardships, but also like the reality behind building a business in your 20s. So first things first, it's going to be hard. I think a lot of people think building a business is easy and then it's just going to be a get rich quick type scheme, but it's definitely going to be hard. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot. You're going to have to really understand what it is you want to achieve, but also be disciplined enough to know that you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of things to kind of make the end goal happen. And I think especially being a like digital nomad living in Chiang Mai, Thailand, it is really easy to get distracted by, you know, the travels, the friends you're meeting, going out. You have to sacrifice that if you genuinely want to make building a business in your 20s work, because it's hard, you know, and it's going to be difficult because that's just the reality of it all. Like, people who go down the entrepreneurship route are up for a challenge, right? It's not the norm. It's not the easy route to just build a business from scratch, you know? It's going to be hard. There were so many times where I thought about giving up, where I was like, oh my God, this just isn't for me. Maybe I should go back to Chicago and get a job. There were so many times where I felt like people around me didn't believe in me, but also I didn't believe in myself. And you know, that's really challenging. Being in a different country from the one that I grew up in, and like kind of being by myself throughout that process, it is difficult. So yeah, that is a hardship around it, like especially in your 20s. No one really understands what you're doing, and so that is a difficult part. You just have to deal with the fact that like people won't support you until you're actually making it. But the hustle and grind to get to that point, a lot of people will question like what you're doing, or are you sure you're doing the right thing, you know? And so if you're true to what you want and your willpower, then I'm sure you'll get there, but you just have to be prepared that it's going to be difficult. People aren't going to support you, and you're just going to have to be extremely disciplined enough to know that things take time. Another thing is, when things get really hard, you're gonna want to give up. And I think that comes down with everything. Like, you know, you go to the gym, you're having a really tough workout, halfway through the set, you're probably gonna want to give up because it's really hard, but the more you push through that, the stronger you get. Same thing happens with building a business. When things aren't going your way, or you feel like things are just being so delayed, you're gonna want to quit. And it's really the people who quit versus the people who keep trucking along that actually make it. When you're at a point that you feel like quitting, just like remember why you went into this route in the first place. There were so many times where I was like, oh my God, maybe I should reach out to my old boss and try to get a job. Or there were so many times where I was like, oh, maybe I should just get a job at this place or apply to this job. There are so many times where I felt like things weren't going right. I remember in December, I had already been in Asia for like 7-8 months, and I remember I was like this close to giving up and not believing in myself, but I kept trying to make things work. And like, I think because my finances were getting lower, my hustle became stronger, and then what ended up happening is like I got my first 2 clients in December, and then things are slowly evolving along the process. But had I completely gave up in December, like none of this would have been happening. Just remembering and going back to why you went down this route in the first place is extremely important, because it's going to be difficult. You're going to want to give up at times, but just make sure that willpower in you is strong and you remember why you want to live this lifestyle and why you want to create your own business. And so just really knowing your why is probably so essential. And I think that with anything in life, not just like building a business, but knowing why you want to live and why you're here on this earth, really diving deep into that is so important, because you get to learn so much about yourself and what you want to become. And yeah, that's honestly probably another thing that's really difficult. And lastly, it isn't a get get rich quick type scheme by no means. I mean, maybe like a few people actually hit the get rich quick scheme practice, like if you got into Bitcoin at the right time and were able to sell at its high, or just like randomly invested in like Apple before it became Apple, or just like little random things. There are a few things that are kind of like a get rich quick scheme, but when it comes to building your business and setting the foundations, the building blocks and the foundation of your business is probably the most important thing that you could actually spend time doing. And so if you have a rocky foundation, then it'll be really hard to build on top of that rocky foundation. So you just have to remember that building a business takes time, and setting up that foundation will take time. But because it will take time, it allows you to really understand the end goal, the big picture you want to create once you get down that road. Building the foundation will take time, and during the process it'll feel tedious, but kind of once you set those systems in place, it's pretty easy to automate it, outsource or hire to kind of run those different parts of the business that you don't necessarily like running but are essential to running a business. And so the foundation and building blocks is really essential, and it's probably something that you want to spend a lot of time doing because it is probably one of the most important things you could do for your business. But at the same time, it's really important to understand everything about your business at the same time. So it's really easy, like you might think that, oh, it'll be easier to just hire someone to do this and that and this and that. But people who actually understand all parts of their business before hiring out actually have an advantage because they kind of understand how everything works. And the more you understand about your business, the better off you are to kind of grow your business if you understand all the ins and outs of business. So yeah, spend time learning the foundations and the building blocks, because even though it is tedious and you might not like certain things, like I know people don't like building websites or writing copy or doing marketing campaigns, if you learn those, even at the most basic level, it'll still help you understand kind of the business model that you need to create for a successful business. That's another thing that's just kind of like a sneak peek into what it's like building a business in your 20s. And yeah, that's all I could think of right now. So I'm sure I'll make more videos like this because obviously I want to be transparent with you guys, as I keep saying in every single video. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. And if you're looking to build a business in your 20s, then I hope you smash it, because honestly, so far, I mean, I'm not even a year in. Actually, well, I guess you could say I'm like 4 years in, because my first business I built was like when I was 18. But this new entrepreneur journey of mine is like not even a year old. Like I just graduated college in May 2019, so I'm still pretty fresh out of college. But yeah, so that's kind of like the truth and the reality behind my life and this whole business thing. And yeah, I hope that helped. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for being here if you're still watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.